Welcome back in. Well, if you're feeling the pressure on what to get someone this holiday, how about the gift of music? Now, I know gone are the days where you'd go to the record store because of streaming apps, but, you know.
Well, there are ways to give this gift, from concert tickets to subscriptions and those streaming music services as well. So longtime Birmingham DJ Tony Curry is joining us right now to talk about.
So we got this this Coca-Cola Amphitheater downtown.
Yeah.
Opening up there.
This is one of your ideas?
Host of great shows. Jason Isbell, Styx is coming to town. I know Don Felder's coming. You got the Yacht Rock show with Christopher Cross coming, which should be great, with Toto, which is going to be great. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But I wanted to ask you before we start, because we used to give away or give music. Albums were a big thing. It was like $7.99 or $8.99 for an album, something like that, right?
And then video killed the records.
Exactly. And so I wanted to know, what was the last album that you were either gifted or you gifted someone?
Well, you can still get a radio. There are radio stores, but I think, it's going to date me, but I think it was Thriller.
Thriller, okay.
Yeah.
My brother in 1981 gave me Diary of a Madman, the Ozzy Osbourne album, the one that he's gotten. My dad saw it. He's like, "What the are you bringing that into the house for?" And of course, that really kind of got me started on Ozzy Osbourne music. And then the album with "You Got Lucky" from Tom Petty, Long After Dark, I think was one of the last albums that I but you can buy albums again, and one of the reasons
you can do that. People like it. Vinyl's back.
And they're super expensive.
They are.
And the reason they are coming back is because it's helping their streaming numbers.
Yeah.
A lot of people are trying to sell albums now, right at the end of the year, much like people do with their taxes, so they can get credit for the 2024 numbers. If you've already streamed and you've run out of gas, now you come out with the vinyl that can boost your numbers. We've seen a lot of artists go from fifth to #1 in a week.
Everybody has their favorite subscription services. What is your favorite one?
So I have Apple Music.
Okay.
So I don't know. My mom always says it's a waste. She's like, I can just buy whichever song I want, and then I don't have to buy the whole album. But I'm like, I don't know.
See, we had to buy the whole album, right?
Yeah.
So,
yes, you did.
You would listen to hear one song, and then you would hope there'd be a second single.
Yeah.
If there was a second single, it was worth the $7.99, or you bought the 45 and it was 89 cents, and you want to buy the 45 because you listen to it once, you're going to get up and flip it around, right?
Yeah.
So, but if you bought an album for that one song, and then the rest of the album was no good, then
you
all of a sudden there was a scratch on it, and you take it back, or you just learn to love it. But
or eventually you get a cassette and you have it get stuck in the machine, and then you learn how to be an expert getting it out with a pencil.
At least we didn't have to deal with 8-tracks, Mike.
That's right. Thanks, Tony.
That's another story for
That's
another
a whole other story for another time. My parents told me about that. I never knew it. But anyway, so what would you want to get somebody? Like if your kids ask you, what would you get them?
My son needs to know what the classic rock's all about. He's into the hip hop stuff like that. So I'm going to take him to an AC/DC concert. The tickets have come down in price. They're at Nissan Stadium.
For the hard rock version of that.
Yeah.
For the hip hop, you're
going
to take him to what?
Well, I'm not going to take him to hip hop. I won't do it. He can go
because you can't handle it.
He can go to those shows by himself. I'm going to take him to a real show. First time in 9 years, AC/DC is, of course, toured the United States of America. They're playing 16 shows. Nashville
closest one is in Nashville.
They're not playing in New York. They're not playing Philadelphia, so they're doing select things. But you got the Abbey Road on the River, which is a very interesting show. It's the world's largest Beatles-inspired festival. There's 250 Beatles with 50 different Beatle bands. It's coming up later on. You got Bonnaroo up in Manchester, Tennessee. It's ironic. We used to go camping every year, and we'd open a map, and my son would just put his finger down on a map, and one year he put his finger on Manchester, Tennessee, and that was 2 days after Bonnaroo was there. Obviously, we had some cleaning up to do at the KOA before we actually set up camp. But you got Bonnaroo coming up, and also this Louder Than Life concert, which is happening in Louisville, Kentucky. It's America's loudest rock and metal festival coming up later.
I would throw one else in the Pilgrimage Festival in Franklin, Tennessee. That's usually always a great festival out there.
But I want to mention, if you need some tickets, and I say this because I know these people, and I'm really excited about the new amphitheater downtown. It's going to be beautiful.
I know. I'm excited about that, too.
People. But you've got some great shows. Toto, Styx, Kevin Cronin, of course, some REO Speedwagons will be part of that night. Don Felder, Rod Stewart's coming, Jason Isbell. So you can check that out. Google Oak Mountain. Of course, they had their thing down there for years, and it served a purpose great. Now we cannot wait to bring some of those wonderful shows to, of course, Coca-Cola Amphitheater in downtown Brooklyn.
Longtime DJ Tony Curry. Some great recommendations there for gifts related to music. Thank you, sir. All right, we'll be back.